guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a worth the buy or nah foundation review on another drugstore stick foundation, and that is the L'Oreal Infallible Longwear Shaping Stick Foundation. So I'm kind of curious to see what this is going to do. So let's just go ahead and get started and try out this new L'Oreal stick foundation. You guys know that they have some really good Infallible products. They have I think matte Infallible foundation, which a lot of people love. They have the Pro Glow, they have the concealers, like they just have a lot of good stuff with that Infallible collection. So I'm excited to see what this stick foundation has to offer, because you guys know I am obsessed with the Maybelline stick foundation. It has the most beautiful finish ever that I want to know if this is something similar to that. Price range, they're probably about the same, so you're not really like doing more than the other, but I want to see the type of consistency this has compared to that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off by prepping my skin. I'm gonna start off by using my Grape Water by Caudalie. This is just gonna make sure that my skin is nice and hydrated and soothed. It's like really hot out, so I'm trying to like get it all done. Whew. Feels good, and I just woke up, so it's even better because it's like a refresher on the skin. And now I already went ahead and moisturized. I used my first Hey Beauty Instant Repair Cream. I did my serum, which I use the Ole Henriksen one. What is it called? It's like comes in the little orange bottle. It's like brightening. I don't know what it's called, but I'll have it linked down below in my description box. And I just went ahead and applied this spray. So now we're gonna move on to our primer. So for primer today, we're going to be using two different products, if I can find them. We're going to be using my Tatcha, the Silk Canvas, and we're also going to be using Fenty Beauty. And to be honest, I prefer putting my Tatcha primer right now on my T-zone because that's where I get like oily and the foundation tends to come off faster. So I'd rather have it there than on the cheeks. The cheeks, it stays in place pretty much the entire day. So now we're going to be moving on to the actual Infallible foundation. So I'm in the shade Tan 408, and we're going to be using one side with my beauty sponge and the other side with my brush. So I'm just gonna go ahead and literally get started. Once we're done, I'm gonna go ahead and read you guys the claims of this foundation, because that's the one thing I don't like about drugstore is that it never really tells you a description here. So I have to go online and kind of look into it to see what it claims, because I don't just want to try a foundation that I have no idea what I'm like looking for to see if it's worth it. So let's just go ahead and stripe this on. Okay, so it does feel creamy. This tan looks a little cool. So it smells a little bit like clay. But for the most part, it's going on the skin super easy, blending fast. My cheek is the most driest part of my skin right now. I'm not a dry skin person, but that's where I get the most dry patches because of my rosacea. So I'm really gonna look at that area to see if it breaks apart easily or how it looks, because that's where you will really kind of get a good answer from me. But it actually went on super quick with the sponge. As you can see, it blended out super fast and it looks really nice and smoothed out. I think that's why I appreciate stick foundations, because I feel like with stick foundations, because they're so creamy, they're so easy to blend out. Looks really good thus far. It actually looks nice and smooth. I'm actually kind of surprised. And I'm not getting a like matte finish or like a dewy finish. I'm just getting like a normal finish. If anything, I think the coolest part of this foundation from my first impressions are that it just looks so nice and smooth out. And this is just going in with the application that we did. I wouldn't want to add any more. I feel like it covers everything it needs to cover. And that's saying something, because you guys know that I do have the redness, but I do have to say that I appreciate the fact that it covers pretty fast. So now we're gonna go in with our IT Cosmetics star-shaped brush, and this is in honor of 4th of July that just happened yesterday. I really hope you guys all had a fabulous 4th of July and ate good food and just enjoyed yourselves and saw the fireworks and just had a great time. But I went on a tangent, but you know, I just had to bring it up because it's like a little star. And now we're gonna go ahead and stripe this side and see how it performs. I always like to go in with 4 stripes on each cheek. And then we just kind of blend it out. It blends out really nicely, I have to say that. You can see how quickly it goes and covers. I love this star-shaped brush for around the nose. It literally like gets in there and does the trick. I feel like this color would be really good like in the fall when I'm transitioning from like my tan color to my like winter shade. I feel like that's when it's gonna fit the best. So it did a good job of covering with the brush as well. You can see only this little area right here where I feel like I'm gonna add a little bit more because you can still see my redness peeking through. But everywhere else it went on super fast, covered super duper well. So I have to say, I think the brush and the sponge both did a really great job of not absorbing the product, not shearing it out, just making it look really nice and pigmented on the skin. Whether you are using a sponge or a brush, you're going to love the way it looks on the skin and the finish it gives you, because it just looks really nice on both sides. I'm not seeing a difference whatsoever. So I really appreciate that. And that is the foundation on. So we're gonna go ahead and take this and put it to the side, and we are going to look really closely into our skin. So, wow, it looks really good. It looks really, really good. Like it's setting more so to like a soft matte finish. Like it still looks like, it's not like a matte where it's like, oh my God, it's like breaking apart, it looks thick. It just looks really healthy. Like it looks more on a soft matte side than like a super radiant side. When it's first drying down, it does have a little tiny bit of radiance. It's nothing too like crazy, but it definitely like dries down to something more like matte looking in like a very healthy way. You know what I mean? Because I feel like sometimes some matte looks can just look so like nasty and flat. This looks good. So I just went ahead and found the claims. It's supposed to be a long wear foundation. It's customizable base that lasts up to 24 hours, which is super intense. I don't think I'm gonna be wearing this for 24 hours, but it is now 9:20 a.m. and I'm pretty much gonna be wearing this the entire day. And it's supposed to be an ultra creamy foundation, which I absolutely agree with. When I was sliding it on my skin, it felt extremely creamy. It was very like hydrating and very pigmented foundation. It's supposed to melt into your skin for a buildable coverage. I think it has a pretty like medium to full coverage. That's how I would rate it. It covered a lot of my redness instantly. And then it says that it is supposed to have like a nice matte formula to create a flawless shine-free base, which I agree with, because once it like really set into my skin, it definitely looked a little bit more on the matte side. I'm not saying this is like a true matte foundation. It was more of like a soft matte foundation. I think this would work for people that are kind of combo skin, that they do get oily through the day, but it's not like intense oils. Now for people that are like me that have really oily skin, I do think that later through the day, it is gonna get dewy, may get very dewy, because I feel like with stick foundations, it's easier to get that dewiness to shine through, especially if it's really hot out. Depending on what you're doing, I feel like you're gonna see that shine through. So we're gonna put it to the test to see how far this lasts and how long we can go without it getting too oily. And it does have 12 shades, which I think L'Oreal could do a lot better. I'm gonna go ahead and stop rambling and finish this makeup. Next time you see me, I'll look beat to the gods. Okay, so I am back. It is now 10:41 a.m. and I am so excited to start off the day. I really quickly want to talk about the makeup and how it went on with all my products. So I have to say, it worked really well with my blush. It didn't break apart whatsoever. I know some foundations tend to like break up the actual like product that you put on the skin. I also went ahead and bronzed up. I used my IT Cosmetics bronzer, and then I went ahead and used concealer. I'm using the Born This Way concealer, not the reformulated one, but the old one, and it worked out great. There was no separation there. It looked fantastic. I do have to say it's still giving me that more soft matte finish, so I'm really excited about that because I was like, maybe it's gonna get dewier. I know sometimes with foundations, after like a good 60 minutes, it like sets and starts to get kind of like luminous looking, but this is still looking more of that soft matte finish. It still feels very lightweight. It doesn't feel like you're wearing a heavy duty foundation, which is another plus of this foundation, because I hate when a foundation feels thick and super heavy, especially during the summertime. It's super hot out, so I don't want to wear anything that's like, oh, it's like a thick thing of foundation on. It's like the worst. So far so good. Super happy with this. What I'm gonna go ahead and do now is carry on with the rest of my day. I'll be back a little bit later and give you guys some footage with the natural daylight so you can see how this looks in natural sunlight. And then we can go ahead and come back at the very end of the day and find out if this new Infallible foundation by L'Oreal is worth the buy or not. So stay tuned if you want to find out all the juicy details. Okay guys, so I am back for my update. It is now 6 p.m. It's been like forever since I last saw you guys. I just went ahead and carried on with my day. I was outside for a while. But I do have to say that I think it's holding up pretty well. Like, we haven't retouched anything, and I'm actually really impressed with how non-oily it looks thus far. Like, this is a big deal considering the fact that it's been quite a few hours. It's probably been like 6 hours or so. I really like it. I feel like this is definitely looking good. And clearly I'm not gonna wear this for 24 hours, but I put it on bright and early so that I could wear it for a long period of the day and see how this wears. And I think so far so good. So I'm gonna go ahead and carry on with the rest of my day, and then I will be back at the very end of the day and give you guys my final thoughts on this Infallible stick foundation. Okay, so I am back. It is now 8:30 p.m. and we've officially worn this pretty much the entire day from 9 a.m. until 8 p.m. I think that's a pretty long day if you ask me. And I think it looks really good. Like, I am shook. I'm really impressed. You guys saw my last little update that I did with the natural lighting, and I really enjoyed how it looked on my skin. I thought it looked absolutely beautiful. It did have a little bit of dewiness, but it wasn't anything ugly or like nasty. It was just kind of like a natural glow, like as if I highlighted like in other areas of my skin. So I'm really excited and surprised about that. I was like, girl, you look hot. I know what you guys are gonna tell me next. Okay, girl, you told us that the Maybelline Superstay was worth the buy. Now you're telling us this one is worth the buy as well. Which one is better? Okay, here we go. Let's just kind of do a quick wrap up. So I do have to say that I think this one by Maybelline is more fuller coverage. If you're somebody that wants extremely full coverage but still feels extremely lightweight and looks really nice on the skin all day, you're going to love this Maybelline one. If you're somebody that likes a more buildable coverage, so if you want something that looks like a little bit more natural, then you're gonna like the Infallible. But if you want something that definitely covers everything it needs to cover right away, then this is the one for you. But I do have to say this one, in my opinion, is a little bit more matte than the Superstay. So if you have dry skin, this may not be compatible to you because it definitely still kept my skin nice and oil-free through the day. I was outside, it was hot, like it was like 95 degrees. And I was I was feeling a little hot and like sweaty, but my skin was still in place. So I feel like if you're looking for like that radiance foundation stick, you're not going to like this Infallible one by L'Oreal. And I feel like both the Maybelline and the L'Oreal one are both really good products. Only thing I didn't look at was how much product it has. So the L'Oreal one has 0.32 ounces, and I'm pretty sure the Maybelline one has similar. Oh no, actually, the Maybelline has 0.25 ounces. So if you want to get more bang for your buck, then I would say get the L'Oreal one. It has 0.32 ounces. This one has 0.25 ounces. So it has a little bit less than this one. Also, this one has sunscreen of 27. If you like sunscreen in your foundation, then you may want this one over this one because it doesn't have sunscreen. Drugstore is slaying the game once again. So you guys know this is definitely worth the buy. I will definitely be using this, and I may be mixing them together as well whenever I do my makeup to see how they work together. Maybe because this one is more of my complexion, the Maybelline one is like perfect true to match to me. As opposed to the Infallible one, maybe it'll work together really nicely. So that's all I have for today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching this review. If you did enjoy watching it, please go ahead and give me a big thumbs up. Lets me know to continue doing these videos. And if you guys have any recommendations for future foundation reviews you want to see, please go ahead and leave them down below so I can go ahead and do that for you guys. And if you're new to my channel, please, please, please don't forget to subscribe. I would love for you to become a member of our family here on YouTube. I wouldn't want you guys to miss my videos for the world. And we're about to reach 17,000 subscribers, so you gotta help a sister out. And please don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you're notified every single time I upload a new video, because I wouldn't want you to miss these videos because I always hook you guys up with some awesome stuff. So that being said, I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.